The first thing you should get as a beginner runner, proper running shoes, but we know that by now. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a few other essential items that you as a beginner runner need. My name is Caroline, and on this channel Run Letters, I talk all about running gear, gadgets and events. So if that is something you are interested in, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to be part of a global run club, then join the Run Letters Run Club. All the gear in the world won't help you if you run too fast and get shin splints. So what do you need? Well, you need an app or coach, you need a plan. First of all, you should decide what you want to do. If you are a complete beginner, then maybe you should follow a Couch to 5K plan, which you can do with a lot of apps. For example, Runna is very popular, it's a paid app. You can also use the Nike Run Club, which is free and I highly recommend. Or if you have the budget, you can invest in working with a coach. The mistake that a lot of beginners make is that they try to just wing it. They just go out for 7 days, run as far as they can, and they end up getting injured. Or they download some generic plan that has been made by an influencer that they follow, and they follow it to the T, and again, it doesn't work out for them. They end up injured or burned out or not improving at all. And that's why I recommend that you get something a little bit more personalized. And that is exactly what the Runna app does. It is also what a coach would be doing. And when it comes to the Nike Run Club, it is not personalized, but they work a lot with perceived rate of exhaustion, meaning that they will tell you to run, for example, a 5 out of 10, which you can then kind of feel, like you can get a feel of what that is for you, what that means to you, and it helps you to not push it too hard too fast. In my own personal experience, the Nike Run Club is great. It is free, means you don't have to invest any money actually, and it will teach you a lot about running. Whether you decide to work with a coach or to use one of these apps that I just talked about, you need an app to track your runs, because if you're working with a coach, they want to see what your runs are like. Now, there's a whole lot of options for this. I'm not going to talk about that, but it does lead me to number 2 of the investments that I recommend you make as a beginner. Because if you're going to bring your phone, you need something to carry your phone. By far not all running shorts and leggings or whatever you use when you run have a good pocket for your phone. Now, you can wear your phone on your arm with a armband. Personally, I don't find this super comfortable, and what I find most annoying there is if you want to take your phone out and you take it out of the armband, you then need to readjust it, and it's just not that handy. And holding your phone in your hand is going to mess with your running form, so just don't do that. The solution to that is a tubular waistband, like the Flip Belt. You can also find these from other brands. I know that Under Armour makes them. There's a lot of them out there. What I did though is I bought this secondhand, and I highly recommend that you do that, especially if you're looking for a flip belt. New, these ones cost quite a bit, but secondhand, you can scoop one up for almost nothing. Then the third thing that you may want to invest in is some headphones. I have these really cheap ones from Amazon. A lot of people are going to talk to you about getting a pair from Shokz, like these bone conducting earphones. They're probably amazing, but if you're just starting out, you can definitely find some headphones on Amazon. What these look like is, they have a little loop that goes around your ear. This prevents them from falling out. I recommend that you just look at headphones like this that have really good reviews, and you start off with that. Don't invest too much in these running gadgets until you know if you actually like running. Now, let's say you have found your groove, you're enjoying running, and you want to invest a little bit more, then I recommend that you look at getting a running watch. I have the Coral Space 3. This is the older version of the Coral Space. The Coral Space 4 is out right now, meaning you can get this one on a discount at the time of recording and of publishing this video. This is a really good running watch, and it's not that expensive. You can also find other models from Suunto, from Garmin. You don't need the most advanced model. Just go for something a little bit simple and start with that. Eventually, maybe you want to level up your watch. You can always still do that. You could potentially resell your watch, but I recommend that you start off with the basic model. That will allow you to load your runs, the ones that are scheduled by the app or the coach that you're using or the plan that you're following, onto the watch, meaning that when you are running, you can check your pace on your watch. and that is super handy. But like I said, it is an investment. It's optional. You don't need this to start with running. If we're talking about pure essentials, then you can watch this video that I'm gonna link somewhere here on the screen. But really, it was just number 1 and 2 in this video. Let's imagine you are not training to just get to a 5K, but you've actually set yourself this really big goal that you want to start running a marathon. Then there are 2 more things that I think you should invest in. The first one would be a hydration vest. This one is from Innovate. It's the Racepack 8. I really love this vest and it's pretty budget friendly. And with that, obviously, you should also make sure that you get a few soft flasks, so bottles for your water. You don't need to invest a lot in a running vest, but speaking from experience, it is worth it to spend a little bit more than to get the cheapest one from Amazon. That is what I did in the beginning, and it was way more uncomfortable. I was lacking the pockets that I wanted. So just maybe invest a tiny bit more and get something that you can use for a very long time. It's also more sustainable to do it that way. The mistake that a lot of beginners make is that they don't fuel properly and hence they bonk or they hit the wall because they just run out of energy. Now, if you're training for something that is a bit of a bigger effort, like a half marathon, a marathon, I think it's also worth it to invest in some proper fuel, like gels or maybe even solid bars from like Maurten or Sturker or another brand, something that you like. Personally, I really like Science in Sport. If you want to find some cheaper gels, you can look at these guys. You can also use dried fruit, dates, stuff like that. There's plenty of other options when it comes to long run fuel. I'll probably make a video about that someday. But yeah, I would recommend that you look into getting some good nutritional items for those runs so that you feel well fueled and you can get the most out of them. Okay, so I just want to recap this really quickly. First thing you need is good running shoes. I'm not going to disregard that. If you have only a little bit of money to spend, get some proper shoes. Go to a running store, get them fitted. Make sure it's a very good daily trainer, a shoe that can do a lot, and go with that. But once you have that, the next thing you need is a plan. You need to follow a structured plan to avoid injuries. If you have no money left, get the Nike Run Club app, work with that. And even if you have money left, that is something that I would look at. But if you would like something that maybe is a bit more personalized, then look at the Runna app or get a coach. I have a referral link for Runna with which you get 2 weeks for free instead of 1 week. You can find that in the description down below. After that, everything is pretty much optional. I do think that getting the waistband, especially since it's such a small investment, is really worth it. And if you are training for a bigger effort, fuel is a non-negotiable. But you don't necessarily need a running vest. You don't necessarily need good headphones or anything like that, or a sports watch. All these things are nice to have. And if you're just starting out, you don't need it. If you're doing a couch to 5K or training for your first 10K, get proper running shoes, make sure that you follow a plan and make sure that you track your runs, because that's the best way to improve, to be able to see how things went. That's it. If you enjoyed this video, then please make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.